Yo, what is up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Now, I know y'all are like, wait, Hayden, you said you were gonna do a horror game. I'm not doing that. I thought about it. I'm like, let's do something different. So right here, I have my phone. Ignore the fact that I don't have a phone case. Mine broke. And I'm like, and I was talking to my fiance like yesterday, and I'm like, I want to do a Bible what if video. So if you don't know, um, the Bible has many different stories. It has, and it's hard. I feel like I'm not the only one who is like, what if this didn't happen, or what if this happened instead of this? So I looked up on Reddit, and I'm probably gonna go look up more during this video. Sort of some of the biggest Bible what ifs. There's a couple. Um, and I keep looking down my foot. It feels like there's something crawling on my foot, but there's not. So this is just this is just a Reddit video. I'm on Reddit. I got some pulled up, and I'm just gonna dive into this. If this is something y'all like, if there's maybe something else like y'all want to see, like oh I want to see a what if on this or on that, then let me know in the comments of this video. Now we'll definitely do that. Okay, so here's the first one. What if Adam and Eve never ate the apple? Okay, so we know that in the Garden of Eden, the snake, aka the devil, tempted Eve into eating the apple from the forbidden tree, or the forbidden fruit. And we know God told them not to do that. So, what if they never ate it? So, the way I think about it is we know the devil, the enemy, is good at tempting us. He's good at tempting people. So, I feel like if he hadn't tempted Eve to eat the apple the day he did, I feel like he would have maybe done it, like tried again and again. And like I feel like this is because also I think I've mentioned, and because I heard this from my youth pastor that I don't think it was a one-off thing. Like she walked up to the tree and the snake was there, like, "Hey, eat this apple. You want to be like God. You want to, God's so mysterious about this. Eat this and you'll know." Like I feel like Eve had been at the tree and has gone to the tree several times before she even ate the apple. That, like, maybe the snake was there the whole time and was like, hey, eat this apple. And she was like, no. And she kept getting tempted to eat it. So, what if Adam and Eve never ate the apple? I feel like if they hadn't, then like if they hadn't, then at some point I feel like the world would have gotten sin. That's just what I feel like. If you don't agree with that, then that's completely fine. Um, but I feel that eventually, at some point down the road, we would have sin would have entered the world at some point. So okay, let's move on to the next one. What if Adam and Eve never sinned? So that kind of goes hand in hand with what I just said. They ate the fruit, which was going against God's word, because God told them, "Hey, don't eat from. Y'all can eat from anything else, but do not eat from this tree." So that's like I feel like they would have done it eventually, or maybe sin would have not came into the world through Adam and Eve. And I just think that like eventually they probably would have sinned, even if they didn't eat from the apple when they did. I feel like at some point they would have sinned, or their children would have sinned and brought sin into the world. So, okay, next one. What if Jesus had lived longer? Okay. That one I've never read. I've read some of these already before, but that one I've never even seen. So, what if Jesus had lived longer? I feel like more people would have been saved. Like, we know that he has saved so many people throughout his lifetime. And I think when he was crucified, he was like in his 30s. He was 33. Like, I'm pretty. Look that up, because I'm pretty sure he was in his 30s. Jesus when died. I cannot spell for the life of me. Because I'm pretty sure he was like in his 30s. So yeah, he was approximately 33. So if he what if he I think that since he was, because he came down as a human, he was still God, but he was human. So he lived through what we lived through. He lived through being tempted by the devil. We know when he was in the wilderness, he was tempted by the devil. Or the devil tried to tempt him. Not he wasn't tempted. Don't listen to that part. But we know the devil tried to tempt him. And I guess that he would have continued his ministry. So we would have way more stories in the Bible than we do now. So what if Jesus lived longer? I guess I want to say his ministry would have continued with him in it longer than since he was crucified. His disciples, his apostles went out and spread his ministry. So I guess Jesus would have went and spread his ministry with them, or he would have went to what he was doing and went over, like went around and spread his ministry. That's just me. And FYI, these are just what I think on like these what ifs. If you think something completely different and you completely disagree with me, that's fine. Like that's not gonna bother. And if you think, and leave it in the comments if you like, hey, I disagree with this and here's why. That's fine. I want to hear from you guys. Like if you disagree, or if you agree, even if you agree, say, hey, I agree with you on this and here's why, or I disagree and here's why. Let me know in the comments. And let's get to the next one. Where was I? Okay. What if Jesus had not been crucified? Okay. So that one I haven't seen either. Um, I'm like that. I've never seen that. What if he hadn't been crucified? So if we're following the same timeline that goes on in the Bible, Judas betrays him. The Pharisees go get him. He goes in front of Pilate. Pilate finds nothing wrong with him. Pilate releases Barnabas, I think is who he released. And then Jesus gets crucified. But in this, what if Jesus hadn't been crucified? And if we're following like the events that happened, he just wasn't crucified. Then I guess he would have been in prison. They probably would have put him in prison. Or they probably would have found another way to kill him. Because this doesn't say what if Jesus didn't die. The first one said what if Jesus had lived longer. But this one just says what if Jesus had not been crucified. I don't know if they would have found another way to kill him, or like if they maybe would have stoned him to death, or because the Romans were very creative in the ways to kill somebody. Like they had so many different ways, and if you know how each of one of the disciples died, you know that, and the ones that died to the Romans, you know the Romans can like think of crazy ways to kill somebody. So what if Jesus had not been crucified? I think either they would have found another way to, because I don't think they were, even if they hadn't crucified him, I think they would have found another way to. They wouldn't have let him go because the Pharisees, the people, like, hey, don't let this man go, and I just don't think he would have been let go. Is the thing. So if he hadn't been crucified, they probably would have put him in prison until like the people I guess forgot about him. Like, hey, who's this Jesus guy? And they would have let him out. What I see here, they probably would have let him out or found another way to kill him. I don't know. Okay, here's. Excuse me. Oh, excuse me. This one I heard. This next one I've heard, but I've never given it thought. What if Judas hadn't betrayed Jesus? Okay, so wow. Like I said, I've seen this one before, but I have not. I've never given it any thought. Cause I'm like, why would I give this thing thought? Why would I give this thought? So what if Judas hadn't betrayed Jesus? So we already know that Judas was. We know that Judas was tempted by the devil to betray Jesus because we know Judas handled the money. He was like their treasurer. He was in charge of the money and the. I guess I don't want to say. I guess income because I guess people were donating to the Jesus's ministry. So Judas was that guy who got the money, and we know that greed got to him. So he's like, and I think it's when Martha or Mary, like the two sisters, one of them was putting some kind of oil or lotion on Jesus's feet. And don't quote me on this. If I'm wrong, let me know. And Judas was like, hey, why don't we sell that and use the money to give to the poor? We know Judas wasn't going to give that money to the poor. He was going to keep it for himself. Judas was becoming greedy. He had greed in his heart. And I've heard many different pastors. I think my pastor has preached something like this a couple times. I think if Judas had waited like a day, because Jesus already knew that Judas would betray him. So I want to say like if Judas hadn't betrayed Jesus, then Jesus probably would have like taken that greed away. And I guess maybe like life would have gone on for them. The Pharisees would still be looking for him and everything. But I guess like I don't know. I guess it would have gone. I don't think I got this one can go hand in hand if what if Jesus had lived longer. If Judas hadn't betrayed Jesus, then Jesus would have probably lived longer. Because we know, we just talked about it, Jesus was about 33 when he died, when he was crucified. So if Judas hadn't betrayed Jesus, then maybe the ministry would have gone on longer. That's just my intake. Okay, so the next one. What if Noah hadn't built the ark? Okay, that's actually a good one. This is one of my favorite ones on this list. So what if Noah hadn't built the ark? I think if Noah hadn't built the ark, oh my nose is tickly. Ooh, I feel like I gotta sneeze, but I don't. So what if Noah hadn't built the ark? So we know Noah. He built the ark for the flood. Two animals. We know the story of Noah. Um. So if he hadn't built the ark, I think this could go hand in hand with Jonah. If you don't know the story of Jonah, God was like, "Hey, go to Nineveh. Nineveh, I think is how you pronounce it. Nineveh. Go to Nineveh and preach to them." And at the time, Nineveh was a bad place, bad people. So you want like nobody wanted to go there. And Jonah was like, "Do I have to? I think I'm gonna go somewhere else and preach." And we know Jonah got on the boat. A storm came up. Boat got capsized. I think the boat got capsized. I think he just fell into the water. Whichever. And then the big fish came up and ate him. And that was God punishing Jonah for, hey, you didn't go to Nineveh like I said. So this is what happens when you don't obey my word. So I feel like if Noah hadn't built the ark, okay, so if you, I'm thinking about it from the perspective of Noah was like, I'm not gonna do this. Get somebody else to do it. I don't feel like taking time to build this big of an ark. I feel like God would have punished Noah, not the same way that he punished Jonah, but Noah would have been punished in this sense. So I feel like he would have been punished one way or another, and I just feel like he would have been. I just feel like he would have been punished, and necessarily by the same way Jonah was, no. But I'm looking at more Bible what ifs because I feel like that wasn't a lot. I'm trying to find more. Um, Try to find one or some. That one's dumb. I'm not. Go to Safari and look. Bible. I I guess when I'm typing, I'm like looking. I'm not paying attention. Bible what ifs. Well, now it's just talking about the story of what ifs in the Bible. Biggest Bible what ifs. Read that one. Okay, I like this one. What if Saul, aka Paul, was never blinded and converted on the road to Damascus? So we know Paul wrote a bunch of the New Testament. He wrote a bunch of he wrote pretty much all of Acts. If I'm wrong, please correct me. I know he wrote a big part of something in the New Testament. I don't remember. But what if he was never blinded? So we know that before Saul became Paul, he killed Christians and was like, hey, it was just, I don't know his exact reasoning, but he was killing them. So I think, I guess he would have just continued killing them. I don't really know what would happen. I don't have a good thought um on it. Um, I think I'm gonna end the video here. Just hit 20 minutes. I think that's about it, guys. So I want to thank everybody who subscribed. Earlier, I did say my fiance. I am in fact engaged to my long-term girlfriend, Chloe, and we were dating for 2 years. And I proposed on her birthday, which was, I guess, her present for me and everything. We are gonna get married, but we're gonna wait. She said Valentine's Day of 2027, so that's over a year. We have over a year to plan and everything. So I'm still, and don't worry, I'm still gonna make videos. Like once I get married, I'm still gonna make videos. I'm not just gonna be like, okay, well I'm married, have fun. I guess I'm still gonna make videos. My foot is asleep and it hurts. But I want to thank everybody who has subscribed and who has shown support over the past long of my channel. I know we've had ups and downs on the channel. I know I've stopped uploading for a while. I would say I would upload and then didn't. But I want to thank everybody who is subscribed. And if you think somebody would like the channel or would benefit, or just think it's funny, share it to them, send it to them, get them, say, hey, watch this video. This guy's kind of retarded, but he's funny. I know I'm not the best guy. I know I'm not the funniest guy either. We all make mistakes and whatever. I guess that's just a part of life. But if you like the video, definitely hit that like button, subscribe, hit the bell so you get all notified whenever I upload videos like this or whatever. Comment your favorite what ifs too. Like if you have a Bible what if, like put it in the comments. Let me know, and I'll. If there's enough, like if there's like maybe one, even if there's like one or two, I'll still react to them. I'll still give my thought on them. Or if you have a thought on the ones I did today, let me know, and I will definitely look at them, and I will, because I read all the comments, and I go through them, and I'm like, okay, so let's. I guess I'm gonna end it here. Thank y'all. I love all of y'all. I love all of y'all for the support. God bless, and I will see y'all in the next one. Deuces.